In this vid, my MagneEel deck goes up against a Durant deck. And so the most important part of this video is showing how to beat a Durant deck. You may not see Durant around after the next set is released. There's a heap more in that set that just demolishes it and is a perfect tech for any deck. But for the remainder of cities, and we still have, I think, 2 weekends of cities, it's certainly not going to be unusual for you to run across Durant. So they get to go first, they get the turn 1 collector, and that's pretty much a perfect start for a Durant. I'm seeing that they're only going, okay, there's the other Durant in their hand. They're benching 3 Durants, looking at their prizes with the Alpha lithograph, making me think that another Durant is possibly prized. And I guess they don't have any energy, so they just mime Junior, stay asleep, and put 1 in my loss zone. So pretty much the big way to beat this deck is, with my MagneEel deck, is to get a Zekrom out. So I didn't have any way to get Zekrom out with that turn, so that's why I used Professor Oak's new theory. Now I'm going to communicate my Cleffa in and get the Zekrom. And I have all the energy, well, 2 of the energy in hand that I need. I'm going to go ahead and use Magnetic Switch, and that still saves 1 energy in case they capture up my Magnemite to be able to get rid of that energy, but instead they do Crushing Hammer and flip the head, so that discards the energy attached to my Magnemite. Would be a bigger deal if that was attached to my Zekrom, but that could still possibly slow me down. It's still going to take me 3 turns to really power up that Zekrom, so they've got some time to do a good amount of milling. I do have a catcher in my hand that hopefully I can stall with a little bit. So right now, my discard pile doesn't look that bad. Just 3, 1 in the loss zone. Going to attach 1 lightning for the turn, and go ahead and end. I want to keep that catcher in my hand so I can use it when I need it. And I was pretty much hoping that the Mime Junior would just continuously stay asleep. And I guess they still can't pull any energy, which is lucky for me, even though they got a great collector start, because they're just going to have to mime it away. So now I can start attacking, but I can't really do anything with the mime, so I'd have to capture up something from the bench, but I really would rather not have to do that in case they do top in energy. I can always hope that Mime Junior continuously stays asleep, but I decide I need to start putting a little damage on the field, so I'm going to go ahead and Outrage for 20. And then I just hope that I pull Lightning Energy next turn to be able to Bolt Strike for a knockout. If not, I'll just keep whittling away, and yeah, I'll just keep whittling away with Outrage. So they're going to Junk Arm for that Crushing Hammer again. They play Crushing Hammer and flip heads again. So there goes my Lightning Energy. Junk Arming again. Junk Arms a Twins and a Junk Arm for another Crushing Hammer, and flips a 3rd heads. Now, I think that was kind of a misplay on his part because he Junked Arm to the Twins. I would have just sat there, let him outrage me to death, and, lost a prize, but then been able to use the Twins to get that energy since he can't seem to still get it. So I'm just going to attach the Water Energy for my turn. And then that's it. Still no energy on his side. So he can't really start milling my deck yet, but there's the energy. So there goes 3 cards. I pull a Sage, which is great. I don't want to discard any more than I have to, but I need the energy. So now I'm trying to decide if I want any of the shuffle cards. I definitely know I need 1 energy, and I'm really kind of contemplating just getting the second one, but I do go for the N just because that can keep me in the game later on. If I'm down to 1 prize, I can N, get myself a deck of 1. So now here I'm going to use a little bit of stall, hope that he doesn't have the energy to be able to attack with this one, and I will outrage for 20. I'm not getting knockouts yet, but at least his hand size is low. But he tops a special metal and mills 3 more cards off my deck. Didn't really pull anything great there, so I need 1 more energy. I've got 3 in the discard pile, but I run plenty, so I'm not really concerned about that. So I really have no need for a junk arm throughout the game, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it for the super rod to put those 3 energy back into my deck so that hopefully when I end, I'm more likely to get the energy. Still have 30 cards in my deck, so I'm still doing really well. And while I hate to give him a new hand, he does have 2 Durants with special metal, well, with energy on the field. So I'm really not too concerned about giving him a new hand, since it looks like he's finally starting to draw into stuff. And so here I Bolt Strike for my first knockout. And now I just have to take 5 more. But I'm feeling pretty good. My hand is pretty good. He can Crushing Hammer again, but I can still get, and there he goes. He finally flips the tails on a Crushing Hammer. He did 3 heads before, only finally 1 tails. So I'm taking a look through my discard pile. Lots of good stuff, but my Zekrom is out fully loaded, and I have energy in hand to be able to retreat anything. So sure enough, he tries to stall by bringing up a little baby eel. And I don't know why he mimes, and I guess maybe he's hoping just to stay asleep without me having the catcher in hand, rather than just mill 2. But, well, I guess I do see why I did it, because if he doesn't have the resources in hand to get that 3rd Durant that I knocked out back, then he probably doesn't have it to, get anything else out. I'm really surprised, though, that I'm not seeing a Rotom yet. I only saw 3 Durants in play. I'm assuming that 1 is prized, so I would thought at some point I would have been seeing a Rotom to get that out of the prizes. But he just may not have had the resources to get that out. So I'm going to go ahead and outrage, because with the damage on me, that does 60, so no need to Bolt Strike and put the extra damage on myself if I don't have to. Takes the 2nd prize, and I draw a junk arm, which is great. If he tries to baby stall me again, I can easily just, catch or something up. Mills a few off the deck. And now that I've got spare energy, I'm just going to start attaching it for future retreat costs if I need it. Here I'm going to Bolt Strike for 120, easily knock him out. I have 80 on myself now, so now throughout the rest of the game I can just outrage. I'll be outraging for 100 each time, and now it's not looking so good for him. I still have 3 prizes left, and he concedes. Yeah, he wasn't able to get another Durant out in play, so that's pretty much the game.